It's a great turnout, man. Good crowd. Glad to see our fans still supporting us, baby.
Be the Raiders' opponent, you will feel a vibration. So easy for them, it's like a vacation. The Raider players are a good combination. Say goodbye to relaxation. Yo, the Raiders will beat you in any situation. We win because of cooperation. The Super Bowl is our destination.
Yeah! Right on, brother. Appreciate that, man. That's hot.
Well, that's a fun way to spend the bye week. Tyvon Branch down at Universal City Walk in Southern California. That young guy could rap a little bit, Tyvon.
Oh, yeah. He was spitting that hot fire, man. You know, he did his thing. Him and his parents was there. It was a cool experience.
Was that the first time you've been down there? Because that is a magnificent store down there.
Yeah, it was my first time down there, man. I had a blast.
Yeah. Tell me about your bye week. What did you do? The weekend the Raiders had off last week. You were off from Thursday to Monday. Did you just chill out? And besides going to L.A. to get your body healed up? Yeah,
I just chilled out, man. You know, I got the chance to chill with a couple of guys down there, so you know, we just chilled out down there.
Yeah. Let me ask you about your pregame ritual. Something I've noticed in the last couple of years that you have the most elaborate pregame on-the-field workout session of any of your teammates, something I did not see you doing when you were a younger player. Have you stepped it up a little bit on game day to get ready for kickoff?
Yeah, I do a lot more than I noticed that, like, stretching really doesn't work for me as far as getting me loose, so I got to go out there and run around and get warm. So as the years go on, the older your body gets, the warmer you got to get, you know.
And you're pulling Travis Gaethel out there, and you're picking him off and working the sideline drill pretty well.
Definitely. Working on my ball skills out there. Travis got a decent arm.
You guys got to get an interception. This defense does not have one this year. What's going on there?
I don't know, man. We got to step it up, man. You know, and once we start getting picks, man, you know, the sacks are going to come, and the two things go hand in hand.
How different is it? Because we just had the anniversary of Al Davis's death on October the 8th, and I know how close you were to Mr. Davis, and this franchise has moved on. How different is it around here going from AD, if you will, to DA, from Al Davis to Dennis Allen and Reggie McKenzie?
It's a lot different, you know. I say this all the time. He's the man that changed my life, so, you know, I have a lot of love and respect for him and his family, and but it's a lot different, you know. It's a change of philosophy. A lot of things are different, and they have a different mentality about the approach of games and the things we're going to do in the games.
This defense has some, you know, some veteran guys on the D-line, certainly, in Richard Seymour and Tommy Kelly. But have you kind of taken over the leadership role on this defense, mainly in the secondary, since you and Michael have been around the longest?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like a lead by example type of thing. You know, I've never been really vocal. You know, I'm a loose guy. You know, I like to have fun, but I'm a lead by example guy. I just go out there and work hard, and, you know, I get guys fired up when I think they need a little fuel under their butts. So.
You are not one to make excuses, but you have lost your starting corners. The first 2 weeks of the year, you lose Bartell, then you lose Spencer. And the adjustment of Michael Huff, one of the best free safeties in pro football, back there with you, coming down to play a corner. How has that changed the way you play with Matt Giordano as the center fielder as opposed to Michael?
Me and Huff have a little more chemistry, you know, so me and Matt are building that chemistry up now. And you know, when Matt used to come in to play safety, I used to move down to nickel, so I never got a chance to really play safety with him. But, you know, we're building that chemistry up now, and, you know, we're starting to gel together a little bit.
One great quarterback after the other. He had a guy who won 2 Super Bowls in Ben Roethlisberger, then a guy who's got 1 in Peyton Manning, and now you got Matt Ryan, who has not been able to break through in the playoffs yet, but this guy's running this offense at a very high level. Tell me about the challenge you faced with this Atlanta offense on Sunday.
You know, they got a bunch of good skill guys, you know. They got Michael Turner, he's a good running back. You know, then they got Matt Ryan that's throwing the ball. You know, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league right now. And he has great receivers out there. So we definitely have our work cut out. But, you know, that's the National Football League. Every week is a new challenge, and, you know, you have to step up to the challenges.
And tight end position is one that certain man coverages you'll have. And you've had some tough ones to deal with, Jacob Tammy and Joel Dreesen in Denver, Heath Miller going back to the Pittsburgh game. But this weekend, you get the guy that has all the records. Undeniably the greatest pass-catching tight end in pro football. You never played Tony Gonzalez when he was a Chief, so you've never faced him before?
Never faced him before. The one time we played him, I think I was a rookie. He was in Kansas City still, but I wasn't playing much then, so I never had the chance to actually line up and guard him.
I know you've been studying film.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, is it comparable to Gates because they're both former basketball players that he uses his body well to kind of block you out?
It's a little different. You know, Gates is more of a wiggle guy. You know, Tony just, I'm going to push you out the way and catch the ball, you know, and once you've been in the league that long and being that productive, you know, they let a little bit more slide. You know, the refs look out for you a little bit. So he gets away with a lot of pushing off, and, you know, he's good at it.
All right. It's early in the year. We're only a quarter of the way through. Give me the mood of the football team. Where are you guys at, and where are you at defensively, do you think, right now, Ty?
We have a sense of urgency, you know. We gotta step our game up. We know that, you know. It's no secret, and I think it's gonna click for us. And when it does click for us, you know, we're gonna go on a nice run.
Mm-hmm. Are you excited about the baseball playoffs come up? I know you're a big Yankee fan from your upstate New York upbringing.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it, you know. And we got the A's too, so I root for both teams, you know. I'm an Oakland guy now, so I got to root for the A's too.
I hear you do a mean Bernie. Do you know how to do the Oakland A's Bernie a little bit? Tyvon Branch doing the Bernie lean on the Silver and Black Show. Keep it up, my friend.
Appreciate
Keep smiling. Good luck Sunday against Tony Gonzalez. When we come back, maybe we'll get Jim Plunkett to do the Bernie lean. Jim will come back and we'll talk about the Atlanta Falcons and the matchup on Sunday on the Silver and Black Show.
I have never worked a day in my life. I went from player to coach to a broadcaster, and I am the luckiest guy in the world.
The chill goes through my body as I hear that roar and think of all those special people. But see you, John, down on the sidelines, those arms moving left and right, and most of all, winning football games.
It's been a great ride. And speaking of great rides, I was lucky enough to be carried off the field after we won Super Bowl 11.
John Madden's grin is from ear to ear. He looks like a slick watermelon.
It was the happiest moment of my life. And today feels like the second time in my life that I'm being carried off the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. I thank you all very much. And this has been the sweetest ride of them all.
That was the last induction that Al Davis was alive for in 2006 when John Madden, who had a decade of success, 103 wins as his 10 years as the Raider head coach, went into Canton, Ohio many years too late. Welcome back to our Silver and Black Show. Greg Papa rejoined by Jim Plunkett. You and I had the honor of both being there that sweltering hot August day in 2006 when Coach Madden went in, and we all knew he would give the speech of speeches.
No, he certainly did. And you would expect nothing less from Coach Madden. He has a way with words. He's excited. He gets people fired up in a different way than most, people would do. He talks about things that you'd never even think would relate to football, yet it all brings it together, and he just gave a magnificent speech.
John Madden became a Raider linebacker coach back in 1967, and it was 1 year earlier, 1966, that the Atlanta Falcons were born, Jim. And they've had some lean years, but ever since they drafted quarterback Matt Ryan, they've been in the postseason. They've had a lot of heartbreaks. 3 of the last 4 years, they've been knocked out of the playoffs in the first round, but this may be the most solid Atlanta Falcon team ever, as they are off to the best record in the NFC at 5-0, and Sunday is going to be a most challenging game for the Raiders. Yeah,
it certainly is. The Raiders are going to have their hands full, and as you mentioned, the Falcons are playing exceptional football right now, both offensively and defensively. They're doing everything right. I mean, the Raiders, have got to go out there and not, cut down on mistakes, come up with big plays, come up with big stops on defense, convert on third down, keep it away from that potent offense, and, they can get the job done, but they've got to play exceptional football.
Carson Palmer is having an outstanding year, and he's going to have to play well on Sunday because Matt Ryan, one of the better young quarterbacks in pro football, Jim, he's hitting on 68% of his attempts this year, over 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. We talked to Ty Branch about Tony Gonzalez, the tight end, a major weapon, but you got the veteran Roddy White, the youngster Julio Jones. They got the running back Michael Turner. This is a very well-balanced offense.
Oh, it certainly is. There's no doubt about it. They can run the ball with a lot of power, and they can throw the ball deep. They can come up with a lot of big plays both on the ground and through the air, so you got to find a way to slow him down. That's put pressure on Matt Ryan. That's that's the only way I can think of right now to slow that offense down. And on the other side of the coin, to help Carson Palmer throwing that football, you got to get that running game going. It's been a struggle a little bit this first quarter of the season, but they've got to find a way to do it. The Atlanta Falcons are 27th rush defense, so maybe there's a weakness there that the Raiders can exploit.
Without question, you got to get the running game going and not fall into the obvious passing passing situations late where they can unleash John Abraham, and the Raiders need to play with the lead and not come from behind. But they'll be well prepared 2 weeks away, and the coaching staff will have them ready for Sunday as the Raiders are back inside the Georgia Dome for the first time since 2004. Many thanks to Raider head coach Dennis Allen for stopping by for his weekly conversation. It's a homecoming for Coach Allen, and his mom and dad will be there to watch him coach on Sunday. And also thanks to Ty Branch, one of the most underrated players in professional football, one of the best strong safeties currently in the National Football League. Join us next week on the Silver and Black Show as we get you set for the Raiders homecoming against the Jacksonville Jaguars on October the 21st, and that'll be a day that we celebrate 50 years of football's fabulous females, the Raiderettes. We may see Plunkett in a pair of go-go boots on the 21st of October. Just joking. All right, that's it for the Silver and Black Show for this week. We'll check you out next week. Enjoy the Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday.